If I stick to what the Quran says to me and what the message is, it's very clear to me that I have total equality. Just do as it says, and nobody can argue with me. Looking at the Quran, it's the perfect way of life for me, if I keep on the clear message it's giving me. And it's very simple. To love people, to care for people.
See you? Well, do come in.
Thank you. Before converting to Islam a year ago, Jan was a Christian. She's separated from her husband and has 2 sons who've now left home.
Some friends have said, but you were a good Christian, so why have you sold out, almost, is what they would imply. And I think my answer to that is, well, I didn't know about the prophet. And indeed, in the Bible, Jesus actually does say somebody will come after me. So I think for me, it hasn't been at all a sellout of my faith. It's been an enriching of my faith.
Nearly broke my fast then. Did you notice?
No.
But I didn't.
What did you do?
Well, I've got some garlic on my thing, and I was just about to lick it up. But I didn't.
There is a lot of rule following, isn't there?
Yes.
Do you like that?
I have no problem at all praying, because it brings you in God's presence 5 times a day.
What hampers me is fearing I'm going to put a foot wrong with the culture. You know, like if I can't pronounce this properly, if I'm not wearing the right clothes, if I'm not behaving appropriately. As all my friends say, it doesn't mean you have to get all sort of scarved up and walk about, you know, like with a bed sheet on you, who's going to see you just with your eyes. And I said, no, it isn't like that, you know, because that's cultural, isn't it, to separate the cultural from what the faith is saying. The faith is saying to dress modestly and to cover yourself appropriately and to not dress in a way that is provocative.
Cultures interpret that differently, don't they, as we've seen in Afghanistan and various places like that.
But you do things like shake men's hand and
Yes.
be in a room with a man and
Yes.
all of that intermixing.
Yes. I can't see myself making that shift very easily, because I'm an English woman. I see men and women. Men and women come to my house. I see men and women at work.
If it is in the Quran that you shouldn't be in the same room as a man on your own who's not family, then...
I feel the way that I deal with that for myself is what your intention is. I just find it really difficult. I really do, and I think that, and I'm still struggling with many aspects of that, and I can't deny it, really.
There are issues about the whole thing that you're meant to question, but you can't just go around sort of thinking, well, this is what I think, you know, and it's not fair for women. I think, you know, like looking at what I was like in the 70s to how I am now. My mum and my sister and I went to Greenham Common. I had orange hair that was like 1/4 of an inch all over. I used to wear dungarees. I never burnt my bra. I never did anything like that. I didn't go to that. I thought, what's all this about? But I was a right-on feminist in those days, really. And it was essential. I mean, it wasn't until, what, the 60s that we could own our own property in England. We could have a bank account without our husband having to sign the cheque. Islamic women have always had those rights. If I stick to what the Quran says to me and what the message is, it's very clear to me that I have total equality. Just do as it says, and nobody can argue with me on that.
It's the end of Ramadan and Jan calls. She's made a major decision. Despite her more liberal interpretation of the rules of Islam, she's decided to wear the hijab. It's Monday morning and she's got to go to work. How are you feeling about it?
Well, I was just upstairs in the bathroom and yeah, I feel quite emotional, really.
Why are you going to start wearing the scarf?
To wear a scarf, for me, as an English woman in Islam, is a real statement. And I really feel I want to do it, and it just feels the right time to do it. I think what makes me feel a little upset is, I think, I'm moving on, isn't it, really? Because people have known, some of them, my friends at work, know that I've been looking at this faith. But to actually go today with a scarf feels quite a journey, really, I suppose. I'll be all right in a minute. I will compose myself.
Have you thought hard about what scarf you're going to wear?
Yes, I did. I did. I've seen a lot of people wearing scarves in different ways, and I think I quite like this way, and it seems acceptable and doesn't feel too covering for starters, for beginners. What I'll be like in 5 years or whatever. Also, I put a top on too because I bit exposed to pray like.
So you wouldn't go out in that t-shirt then?
No.
Did you used to?
Yes. It's amazing how you sort of change, isn't it? As I look over my clothes now, I think that's probably not appropriate to wear.
What have you got in there now that you wouldn't wear?
This is quite a favourite skirt of mine, actually. I really like this skirt. But it's got slits at the side, you know? You do have to sort of think about your clothes more. You see, that skirt I couldn't wear anymore, because it's, you know, it's quite tight too. This is a bit short. I don't know. Bit figure-hugging too, isn't it? Mm. You see, you've got to be so careful.
That would show your bum, wouldn't it?
Show bum. I quite like bright scarves, and I quite like flowery ones too. I wondered if that was partly the hippie in me that was. Flower power and all that. Make love, not war. It's still the same today, isn't it? Show love.
And not make love anymore.
Not...
You're not supposed to do that, are you?
Well, I think, yes, I think interestingly enough, the Prophet didn't deny it, did he? I mean, the Prophet didn't sort of object to that, did he? In fact, somebody once said to me the Prophet was a whole man. You know, unlike Jesus, who you don't know what he's up to, and, you know, the people... you don't know what he did or what he didn't do, because you don't know what his life was about. I don't think that I'll go today with any expectations of myself. I'll just get on with my working day. But I think from now on, I will begin to, slowly but surely, be more Islamic in the way I am, really. It feels like I've had the apprenticeship this year, and it's been a difficult year. I actually feel quite ill-prepared today.
Jan arrives at the Northern General Hospital, where she works as a counsellor.
I feel quite nervous, actually.
It's the first day of her new life wearing hijab.
This is where I work, Sheffield Kidney Institute. Morning. There isn't anything for me, is there?
Liz Lidget. Yeah,
okay.
asking if you were here.
All right, darlings, I'll catch you later.
Bye.
They didn't say anything. Do you think that's what how people are going to react?
I think that might be what will happen. That they'll just kind of think, what's that about then? A bit more, I think more composed then.
Doors opening.
Morning. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Hi.
Nice to see
What's
you.
this?
I know. Get in here. We'll discuss.
This is a statement.
Yes, it
Yes?
probably is, isn't it? Really, it's probably a move forward. Really. Quite.
Cool.
Do you think it looks okay? I know.
Thanks to the blonde
I
hair.
know.
And how have you found it this morning?
This morning it's felt okay. I was very shaky at home because it just felt like it's a lot of explaining, isn't it? As well?
Yeah, but lots of people know that the way that your face has been going.
Sure.
I mean, you have been open and you've
Yes,
talked about
this is true.
so-
This is true. In the hospital, it's very secular. It doesn't recognise a God particularly. It's cause and effect, isn't it? Got an illness, we cure it. We don't look at the soul. And a lot of problems that people have with emotional illness is there. And I think if you can help them spiritually, you don't have to say, become a Muslim, but to try and help them, I feel is what I want to do more now, really. And I do think, thank you, Allah, God, because I kind of think, blimey, I've got so many things to learn and to do. Could be sat in my twin set, couldn't I, somewhere? Waiting for the grandchildren to come. You getting help here, Louie? Looking at the Quran, it's the perfect way of life for me. If I keep on the clear message it's giving me. And it's very simple. To love people, to care for people,